Buenos dias from Barranquilla, which is the fourth largest city in Colombia. It is located next to the Caribe and it has quite a history of music because this is the hometown of Shakira. You might know her, of course, because this is the most known Colombian export worldwide. Today we're on the mission to find a statue that is dedicated for her. Of course, she doesn't live here, but I think she visits quite often. We will go through Centro Histórico, which is Old Town, and try some local food, maybe talk to somebody, whatever goes our way. Come with me on this mini journey. The city definitely seems to be much greener than Cartagena. Even though it's larger, it still managed to plant lots of trees. Immediately after passing a few blocks, around 10 minutes or so, you recognize that you've entered another neighborhood, more messier and a lot of noise going on here. And people looking suspicious at you, so. Another tell that the neighborhood is a little bit more impoverished is the street vendors. They increase. What everybody told me is don't show the papaya, which means don't show off your bling bling or don't stand out too much. I'm wearing a watch, sunglasses, silver, a chain, a ring, a phone and a camera. I guess I'm probably the #1 target out here. But I'm willing to take the risk and hope everything goes good. Okay, we've entered the Histórico. It looks like a very diverse place. Every city in Colombia has the statue of Simón Bolívar, which is the liberator of South America. Quite an important figure in this part of the world. This is definitely the center of the city, but it doesn't seem like it's the old town or the Histórico. Don't see much of architecture or churches in this part of the town. Now look at this market. Mostly it's just the usual stuff, lots of clothes, stuff for the house, nothing unusual, something new. Okay, here we go, we find something cool, something from the colonial period. A massive church, iglesia. For some reason it's closed. I want to find out if we can get inside and see the difference between the Mexican churches and the Colombian ones. A lot of homeless in this part of the centro. I have a feeling this market never ends because anywhere you turn, there's still some vendors. There's still something going on. On this side, you have a bunch of people fixing stuff, like shoes, watches, fans, whatever you can think of.
Una arepa, arepa de queso, queso y mantequilla. De tomar, jugos naturales, níspero, zapote, guayaba, mora, fresa,
natural.
Natural, sí. Una naranja. Naranja y banano. Ahí te mismo ve cómo lo preparan.
Okay.
Naranja y banano.
Colombian national dish, arepa, made out of the corn flour with cheese and butter inside. It's delicious. You don't even have to drink anything with it because it's so tasty. moist. Along with the arepa, the guy brought me a large fresh squeezed juice, and that costed $1 for the juice, and for the arepa it was about half a dollar, and it was really delicious. It's street food, but it also could be made home or a restaurant. They put a different type of toppings inside, like eggs, meat, whatever you prefer. It's really delicious. I highly recommend it. I think I'm ready to exit this market and continue our search for Shakira. While trying to exit, I stumbled upon the produce market and the meat market. I always wonder how they keep the meat in this climate on the outside without ice or refrigeration. Wow, what a building. It's really nice. What's really bizarre is the amount of filth on the floor that they have here. It's really unsanitary, and it always smells really strong in these markets, the same as in Cartagena. Look, the meat is without any refrigeration. Just laying there on the sun. There's fish on one side, meat on the other side, and that's how mostly cross-contamination happens and certain viruses are born. Now is definitely time to exit this place. It's just, I can't stand the smell. So what we've learned so far going into the centro, to the market, is that it's pretty safe. Even though you give the papaya, there's quite a contrast between where they sell the clothing and stuff for the home and the masters who are fixing stuff versus the food section. It's a mess, it's hectic, it's dirty, it's filthy, it's smelly. I'm sorry to the locals, but this is the truth. But I did have some good food here in the market, and I can't complain about that. Anyways, let's continue our search for Shakira. So I just took a taxi because it's quite a distance to reach the statue from the centro, and the guy was playing Shakira on repeat, which was quite funny. But he also asked me where he picked me up, what were you doing here? And I said, just exploring, making a video. He's like, dude, this is a dangerous neighborhood. Hola, buenos días. Buenas tardes. Gracias. Anyways, we arrived at the park, which is next to the Estadio Metropolitan. In fact, this is the home of the national football team. This is where they train and prepare for the World Cup or qualification matches around the world. Pretty cool, isn't it? Also, Barranquilla is the home to the second largest carnival in the world after Rio de Janeiro. And it happens in 1 month exactly, which is February 18th. And it will be pretty crazy here. I'm not sure if I will stay, but probably it's good times to be here. And one of my favorite facts about this place is that in 1919, this is where the first airport opened in South America. And that's also where the second world's oldest airline was launched, Avianca. It still operates today. I haven't flown on it, but I'm looking forward to it.
This 16-foot, 6-ton statue was unveiled to the public in November 2006. It was built with Colombian iron by a German artist Dieter Pat. In fact, he had the iron shipped to Germany, and after building and spending a few months in his home city, the statue was taken apart and shipped to Colombia.
We've reached it. The statue of Shakira, the statue of the Queen of Latin music. And this is the home where she was born and raised. She's just not an icon of Colombia, but she's the representation of this Latin culture, of Latin music, of dance. And the vibes that she brings in her personality, like always smiling, very positive. This reflects the Colombian Caribbean, as all the people here are mostly this way, to tell you the truth. She started her career pretty early. At the age of 13, she was already signed with the Sony Records here. The first 2 albums were a flop, it didn't give her a break. But the 3rd album, which Sony actually was hesitant to invest in, and that's when the worldwide success came, was from that point on. I think it was released in 1995. I don't think there's a person out there who doesn't know who she is, which is quite an accomplishment, coming from such a town and here in Colombia. Especially back in the days, in the 90s, this was a pretty dangerous place because of the port that was controlled by the narcos, and the port would be the main hub to transport drugs towards the Europe. While I was talking, I got so far from the little statue. What's actually really interesting that Shakira is from a Colombian and Lebanese descent. Her father's parents are Lebanese and he was born in New York or something like this. Her mother's 100% Colombian. Quite a mix. Maybe that's why she has those belly dance moves in a lot of her music.
Initially, the plan was to install the monument next to the airport, but Shakira wanted it to be visible whenever and wherever to the youth of Barranquilla to inspire their own dreams. The statue is inscribed with a quote from Shakira: "When you look at me, think that you too can accomplish what you want." As you can tell, the statue isn't the most appealing to the eye, but Shakira had a good reaction to it. She said, "One day I can go to the statue with my children and tell them, hey, this is apparently your mother, but don't you think I look better in real life?"
At least they built something, right? To represent the main export of Colombia. Thanks for coming on the tour with me in Barranquilla, searching for the statue, going through the centro, just exploring the city. It possibly has not too much to offer in terms of activities and museums, but it's a nice stopover for 1 or 2 days, especially if it's a weekend, because they say there's quite a nice nightlife here. And yeah, adios amigos, see you till next episode.